Y'all know what? People talk about ascension like it's this peaceful and heavenly experience. But I'm going to keep it real with y'all. True ascension hurts. It's an uncomfortable situation, it's confusing, and its purpose is to shake everything that you thought you knew about yourself. Ascension is not you floating up to the clouds. It's actually about you coming back into yourself, into your truth, your spirit, and your real identity. And for a lot of us, the hardest part is realizing that we have been living a life that wasn't even ours. So with that, I'm going to start the video by saying what ascension really is. It starts the moment you finally stop and ask, okay, what do I really want? What matters to me? What do I value when nobody else is in my ear? And y'all, a lot of us grew up in environments where we didn't have enough space to explore our gifts and passions. We were too busy surviving. We were too busy playing the role that our family and society told us to play. But that doesn't mean that our gifts disappeared. They just got buried. So ascension is literally the journey of going inward and finding parts of you that got left behind. The first phase of your ascension is realizing what is and isn't yours. And that's where this whole thing gets painful. You start separating what really came from your heart from what came from your family and what came from society, even your friend groups. Whatever trauma that you went through, whatever came from the survival mode that you were forced to live in, when you start realizing that some of your likes and your choices, your relationships, even your career path, weren't even chosen by yourself, that is a chilling realization, and it stings because once you know it, you can't unknow it. And once you start changing, the people who benefited from your old identities are going to resist very strongly. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because they're losing the version of yourself that best served them. And that's where most of the pain comes from, because they will actively attack you because they feel like you are attacking them but not continuing to harm yourself for their benefit. But you can't continue it because your body responds to misalignment. And let me tell you something people don't talk about enough. Your body reacts very strongly. When you have been misaligned for years, your body will show it. You can break out in hives. You experience inflammation in your body. Your nervous system becomes overloaded, and that creates autoimmune flare-ups. Your body literally fighting the life you've been forcing yourself to live. Ascension brings all that up. It brings it to the surface so it can leave your system. But when you finally start aligning with your truth, when you start choosing what's healthy for your spirit, your body calms down in ways that are indescribable. The stress reactions just stop. Not because your life is perfect, but because you aren't fighting yourself anymore. What next I call the rebuilding phase. Once you get through the initial shock that the peeling back stage unveils, here comes the rebuilding part. You start making new choices, real choices, and aligned choices. You stop using alcohol, sex, or people as distractions to soothe yourself, because the pain you used to numb isn't in you anymore. You stop forcing relationships that drain you. You stop carrying responsibilities that were never yours. And you stop settling for jobs and environments that shrink you. And y'all, like I said, that is the painful part, because it in your real life it might look like, well, imagine waking up and realizing that you're not attractive or attracted to the person that you are in a relationship or married to. You were settling for them in a way, and you were settling from the circumstances of that relationship. They are going to feel some kind of way because you're changing into the person that benefits you and not them. And people who are benefiting from you overgiving, working more than your fair share in the relationship without reciprocity, those are the people that will actively resist you and try to cause you pain in your healing journey. So that's just a real life example of what I mean in that. But no matter how painful it is to the people around you and yourself, you are forced to start living in honesty with yourself. And that right there, that is ascension. The final phase, y'all, is what I call surrender. And eventually, you just reach a point where you just simply surrender. Not in a defeated way, but a peaceful way. You realize that every hardship you went through wasn't good or bad. It was just a teacher. Every choice you made taught you something. Every fork in the road showed you a different part of yourself. And now you've reached a level of peace where you see that all of it was guiding you back to who you were from the very beginning. When you get there, that's when life feels lighter. That's when you stop fighting yourself. That's when you finally feel like you're living your own life, not the one that someone handed you. And once you ascend, you don't just change your own life, you spark something in others. Because people feel your alignment, they feel your growth, and they feel your clarity. And that energy creates a chain reaction. Your healing gives someone else permission to heal too. Y'all, ascension is painful, but it is the most beautiful pain you will ever experience. Because on the other side of it is freedom, wholeness, and peace, complete alignment. If you're in that process right now, just know that even though it feels like it, you are not breaking. You are becoming. And if this spoke to you, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and keep walking your path. Your spirit knows exactly where it's trying to take you. That's all I got for y'all today. I'll holler at y'all on the next one.